Number 10, the invisible invader. You ever find yourself washing your hands over and over again? You just walked out the bathroom, you scratch your head, and you feel this instinctual need to wash it again. You call it being a germaphobe or an obsession with cleanliness. But this isn't just a modern quirk, it's your brain running an ancient plague prevention program. For 99% of human history, the greatest and most catastrophic threat wasn't a predator, it was unseen microbes. The feeling of intense disgust you get is your behavioral immune system firing off. It is a lightning fast refusal to touch anything that might trigger a biological collapse. Your brain is not irrationally afraid of dirt. It's using a powerful inherited instinct to protect you from invisible dangers that once wiped out entire civilizations. Number 9, the Pierce Protector. The sight of a needle makes your heart pound. Your blood feels like it runs cold. You know it is for your health, yet a primal part of you screams in protest. This is not a fear of medicine, it is a fear of being stabbed. Your brain's ancient survival software does not understand vaccine or blood test. It understands one thing only: a sharp object is piercing the skin, and that tiny puncture is a potential threat that could be hemorrhage, poison, or a fatal wound in a pre antibiotic world. That wave of panic, sometimes causing a drop in blood pressure, is a prehistoric trick to make you lie down and prevent bleeding out. The fear is not a flaw, it is a million-year-old defense system activating perfectly. Number 8, the predator scanner. Even as an adult, walking through a dark room can make the hairs on your arm stand up. You know there are no monsters, but your body reacts as if there are. That is because for our ancestors, the dark was not empty, it was full of predators. Your modern brain knows you are safe, but your ancient nervous system remembers when the night belonged to things with claws and teeth. The fear is not of the dark, it is of sensory deprivation. Your brain is on heightened alertness because your primary defense system of visibility has been shut down. The terror you feel is the ghost of every ancestor who survived because they knew that what you can't see can absolutely kill you. Number 7, the control surrender. You've seen the data, you know flying is statistically the safest way to travel, yet the moment the cabin door closes, you feel trapped and powerless. This fear isn't about the height or the speed. It is about the surrender of control. You are stuck in a metal tube, thousands of feet in the sky, and your survival is entirely in someone else's hands. This goes against every core survival instinct you have. Your brain is not afraid of crashing. It is screaming because you have willingly given up your most fundamental power, your ability to run. Number 6, the uncanny mask. You see a clown and you feel this deep, unsettling revulsion. You cannot explain it, but it feels wrong. This isn't a silly childhood fear. It is a sophisticated reaction to a social danger cue. Your brain is the world's best lie detector. It is hardwired to read intent through micro expressions. A clown with its painted permanent smile is a walking contradiction. The makeup acts as a mask and blocks your visibility to subtle muscle movements that signal human emotion and intent. Your brain isn't afraid of the red nose. It is terrified of the unknowable emotion hiding behind the mask. And it is a cognitive revulsion to the inability to predict danger. Number 5, the ancestor's ghost. A movement in the grass makes you jump back. Your heart is pounding in your chest. You see it is just a rabbit and feel foolish, but you should not. For millennia, a venomous bite was a death sentence. You are the direct descendant of the early humans whose instinctual response is to react first and ask later to these specific shapes and movements. This fear is genetic memory, and it is better to be safe than sorry. Your ancestors who did not have this survival reflexes died before they could pass on their genes. The fear you feel is an ingrained life saving mechanism passed down from a long line of survivors. Number four, the escape artist. Being in a crowded elevator or a room without windows makes you feel an urgent, desperate need to get out. You call it claustrophobia, but it is a logical fear of being trapped. Throughout history, being cornered in a cave or caught in a rockfall meant you were vulnerable and defenseless. The fear isn't about the space itself, it is about the elimination of options. Your survival brain is instinctually aware that your options to escape is limited. The panic is the adrenaline rush trying to force you to claw your way back to open space. Your brain isn't panicking, it is running a life or death calculation and screaming that all the exits are gone. Number three, the gravity guardian. You stand on a high balcony, your knees are shaking and feel weak. An invisible force seems to pull you toward the edge. This is not a death wish. It is your brain's brilliant understanding of gravity. This instinct is so deep that it is even present in babies. Your brain isn't just seeing the beautiful view, it is running a non-stop complex physics simulation on the catastrophic potential of a long fall. The dread you feel is the most logical fear you have. It is your brain overloading on both the risk and final consequence of irreversible death. That feeling of dread is not irrational. It's a healthy, life-saving respect for the most powerful force on the planet. Number two, the disease detector. Looking at a lotus seed pod or a honeycomb makes your skin crawl with a visceral, sickening feeling. This is trypophobia, and it feels bizarrely specific, but it is your brain's ancient purity protocol firing off. Clusters of holes and bumps are visually similar to the patterns of diseased skin, parasitic infestations, and rotting flesh. The intense disgust you feel is a survival instinct you inherited from your ancestors. Your brain isn't being weird, it is seeing the visual signature of contagion and biological distress and protecting you efficiently that predates language. Number one, the tribal court. This is the most common fear of all, but it makes the least logical sense in our modern world. Why is speaking to a group of colleagues more terrifying than the thought of dying? It's because your ancient brain is not seeing a boardroom, it is seeing a tribal tribunal. For our ancestors, standing alone while being silently judged by the entire group was a life or death trial. Social rejection is the equivalent of being exiled from the tribe, and being casted out means you are completely alone without any protection, which is pretty much a guaranteed death. Your pounding heart and sweaty palms are not an overreaction to a PowerPoint. They are a genetic response to the primal fear of being banished and left to die. Your body is preparing to run for your life because the silent judgment of the group feels like a death sentence. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see more.